Chapter 5. Prisoners. Ethan rubbed his eyes and stretched. The early morning sky outside his bedroom window was just turning a pale blue. One puffy cloud floated slowly across his view. He sprang out of bed and checked his alarm clock. It was the next morning. What? Ethan thought. How did I lose a whole day? I was in that neighborhood. Then the wind knocked me down. So, how did I end up back in bed? He had so many questions his head hurt. Whatever was going on, it was stranger than any story he had ever come up with. He needed help making sense of everything. He slipped out of his room and knocked on his sister's door. No answer. Very quietly, he opened the door. Sabine was sitting up in bed, staring out her window. Hey, Ethan whispered. Is everything okay? Sabine turned. She didn't yell at him or entering her room uninvited. Instead, she said, I had the strangest dream. There was a monster in the sky, and houses with yellow roofs. Ethan finished. Sabine nodded. It felt so real. Ethan let out a shaky breath. He sat down beside his big sister and told her everything. Something is going on in Raven's Pass, Ethan finished. Something bad. And I think my nightmares, and yours now, are warnings. They're telling us that we need to do something. Will you help me? Sabine stared at Ethan. Then, she stood up and said, Get dressed. We're going out. Now. Sabine was already waiting for Ethan when he came downstairs. It was so early that Mom and Dad weren't even up yet. Sabine scribbled a note for them. Sabine scribbled a note for them. Kids sneaked out of the house. Ethan wanted to ask what Sabine had planned, but the look on her face was so serious, he didn't dare open his mouth. Soon, they came to the top of the hill overlooking the development. Sabine gasped. Sabine gasped. When were those houses built? She asked. Mom and I were here a few months ago practicing for my driving test. It was just an empty field. How? Park here. Ethan interrupted. As she turned into the neighborhood, we don't want to run into the invisible wall. The what? Sabine said. Ethan led his sister to the park. She rushed ahead. Before Ethan could stop her, she bumped into the barrier. So the wall is real? Ethan just had to check. It's not my imagination? This is definitely real. Sabine replied. She pressed her hands against the seam in the empty air. How far does the wall go? I'm not sure. I wasn't able to find the end, so it has to be long. Who knows? It might even surround the whole town. Ethan said. Sabine bit her lip. Wouldn't that mean no one in Raven's Pass can leave? Maybe, Ethan said. His heart skipped a beat. We might all be prisoners and not even know it. How is it that no one's... Sabine began, but Ethan had stopped listening. He was staring at someone walking down the street. Avi! Ethan called. He ran to his friend. Sabine followed behind. Avi looked at them and frowned, as he had done before. I'm supposed to do something, but I can't remember. Maybe we can help you, Ethan said. Avi shook his head. Please go home. You are entering dangerous territory. With those strange words, he walked away. Sabine and Ethan trailed after him. Like last time, there was no one else about. When Avi entered his yellow-roofed house, Sabine exchanged a look with Ethan. We have to keep following him. We need answers, she said. They climbed the 4 steps to the door. Ethan's heart pounded as he turned the doorknob and pushed. The door opened. Ethan and Sabine stepped inside. Chapter 6. Nightmare on TV.